It's not Estella. That's the past. I'm Cruella, born bad and a little bit mad. I'm just getting started, darling. Hello, darlings. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Maryam, aka Cruella. This is the look that I prepared for this video. From the movie Cruella, the Disney version, not the cartoon. And the look that I decided to create for this character today is something that I have seen throughout the movie. It was something that was consistently the look that Cruella, the character, was wearing. I saw it dressed up, I saw it dressed down, but this is kind of like the glamorous version that I wanted to go for. I love it. I think it turned out quite brilliant. I am very much in character, so I really need to snap out of it, but I really hope you guys love this look. I hope you make it yours. I'm gonna walk you through all the steps, show you all the products that I used to put this together, and hopefully you get to recreate it on yourself. So with that said, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos, not just Halloween videos. And now let's get into this one. Disney's Cruella makeup. Here we come. Just in time for Halloween. Okay, so since I am getting into character, I learned since last video that I need to have a little sippy sip of wine, because if I don't have a sippy sip of wine, I start judging myself, you see. This happened to me in my previous video of the she-devil / scary devil. That was a character that was kind of difficult for me to get into, you know? And so I thought it might have been easier if I had a little bit of alcohol in my system. So now that I know that, I'm gonna take another sippy sip. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is actually start with my face base. And so even though Emma Stone, the actress, has a much fairer skin tone than I do, I feel like anyone can be Cruella. You don't necessarily have to have a fair skin tone. You don't need to be like of European descent in order to pull off this look. You could be any background, any ethnicity. Naturally, as I'm looking at the character, I want to reach for a much lighter foundation, but then I'm thinking, why do I want to do that? Perhaps I should just reach for a shade lighter, or like 2 shades lighter, just for that contrast, because anything that adds drama will add to contrast. I'm gonna quickly prime. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream in the shade Light 240W. Now this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone. Come on, cat hair. Oh, this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, but it's still the same undertone as my skin. So it's not too drastic and it's not too different. Also, this CC cream is very full coverage. So because it's full coverage and because it's a couple shades lighter than my skin tone, it makes it look even more dramatic. And for any character makeup, we want to be more dramatic. We embrace the drama. Face base is on. Next, for my concealer, I'm gonna use the Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer just to brighten under my eyes and highlight any areas of interest. So perhaps a little bit of highlighting between the brows, a little bit down the nose bridge, around the nose, and on the chin, just to bring a little bit of light and a little bit more coverage to those areas. I'm gonna blend it out with the same brush. This step is super simple. Shouldn't be too different from your normal makeup routine outside of the part of you potentially using a lighter shade foundation. Next, for the contour, and I'm only doing this for the dramatics again, like I said. I'm not actually gonna try to shape my face to look more like Emma Stone's. I'm just gonna add a little bit of contour on my jawline to make it pop a little bit more. I'm gonna add a bit of contour around my cheekbones. What I am gonna do is contour my nose straight from the brow down the side like this. And this is actually going to help me with my eye makeup, because as you can tell, the look that I'm going to be recreating has quite a dramatic brow contour. So there's definitely a lot of shadowing between the brow and the side of the nose that kind of flows into the eye socket contour. I'm definitely already going to start mapping that out. I'm gonna use this toothbrush brush. I'm just gonna blend everything out. Oh, and by the way, for the contour, I use my PIXI Multi-Balm Sheer Sculpt. I use this one every year for Halloween because it is the most believable cream contour product in my opinion. It has a very natural grayish cool undertone, and obviously I'd rather contour with makeup for real life than makeup for Halloween, just because I find the regular makeup is a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit better for you. Let's just keep it real. And doing all these Halloween tutorials and putting on heavy makeup can sometimes take a toll on the skin, you know? All right, so now I'm just blending out that nose contour. Okay, good enough. So now we're contoured, we're a little bit more chiseled. I'm looking just a pinch more manly, I don't know. Whenever I contour, I always feel very square jawed, you know? Anyway, wine time. Next thing I'm gonna do is set my under eye and my pore zones with my One Size translucent setting powder. Just setting that under eye, around the nose. By the way, my nails are very long for my birthday on the 23rd, but by the time this video airs, it would have already passed. So anyway, these are my birthday nails. They have nothing to do with Halloween, and they have everything to do with me wanting to just be glamorous and extra for my B-day. So pay them no mind. But if you want a tutorial, I do have one on my TikTok and on my Instagram. Just saying, just throwing it out there. You should be following me there if you are into more than just product reviews, because I definitely do a lot of different stuff on those platforms. Such as nails tutorials, such as skincare routines, such as workout routines, outfit ideas. I can be funny sometimes. Hit me up on those platforms and tell me you are from this video. Okay, whenever I use the one size powder, I get carried away and I end up applying it all over, even though I don't mean to do that, but it's just such a great powder that I end up applying it everywhere. So I might as well just grab a bigger brush and set the rest of my face. Moving right along to blush. I'm not gonna bronze up because, like I said, I'm going for contrast. So instead I'm gonna add a little bit of my Mineral Veil in sheer medium, just so that it looks a little bit more natural, not like so obviously pale toned. Next, I'm gonna go for this Wonder 2 blush in the shade Plummy, which is like a rosy plummy shade. Kind of looks like the color of my lips. Gonna add just a smidge of that on the apples of my cheeks, right above that contour. And now I am going to start filling in the brows. So for the eyes and for the brows, I actually reached for a palette that I had in my to give away drawer, but for some reason, no one took it. Been in it for months. I'm talking about the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. This is a very cool toned neutral palette. It has lots of grayish taupey shades. It also has some pinks and some champagne shades, but for the most part, it is very much cool in temperature. So what I'm gonna do first is fill in my brows. All right, so looking at Cruella's photo here, noticing that her eyebrows are a pinch arched, but they're actually pretty well groomed and natural looking. So I'm gonna use the shade right here called Cult Classic. It's just a grayish taupey shade. I'm gonna use it to outline my natural shape using this Benefit brow brush. Just kind of elongating the brow, filling it in, and keeping the shape somewhat natural. I'm gonna brush out the shadow throughout the width of the brow and then fill in the other brow. Brush that out. If you overarch, an easy fix is just to add a little bit more color right here to the front, flicking it up. And suddenly that gives like a much more innocent look because it lifts this part up. Next thing I'm gonna do is take a pointed brush like this. This guy is from Laura Mercier and it's the Clay Smudge brush. Dip back into the same shade called Classic, but just a little bit. And I'm gonna gently start bringing the eyebrow down to meet with the nose contour. I'm then gonna take a clean brush and I'm gonna blend that out just so that this portion resembles a shadow rather than an actual drawn on line. That's great. So now I'm gonna move on to the eye makeup, which by the way is actually quite exquisite in this photo. And I think it's perfect for those of us with hooded eyes, like myself, like Emma Stone. Wine time. Fenty Beauty Primer. Next thing I'm gonna do is take a black pencil, something that is easy to smudge, like this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in whatever black. And so now I'm just gonna keep on looking at the image and essentially creating this really cool shape, which starts kind of at the side of the nose, goes through the lid, and then comes down like that. And then looks like there's lots of smoke happening on the outer portion of the lid, though I can't quite see, but I can imagine that there's some sort of a line on the top lash line and into this outer portion area. Now this pencil is very, very, very soft, very easy to use, very pigmented, so I'm not even really dragging it across my lid. I'm kind of just barely touching the lid, and it's giving me enough color payoff and enough darkness. So now I'm starting to build up the outer portion, just kind of smoking out that outer liner and connecting that to the middle. I'm gonna take a small smoky liner brush. This one is from Sephora. I'm gonna first gently run that over the pencil in the inner portion, just to kind of perfect it, just to smudge it out, make it more smooth. And then basically I'm gonna run that through the entire mapping out of this shape, from the top lash line to the outer portion. Just basically smoothing it so that there's no gaps, so that there's no jagged edges, so that everything looks solid and seamless. I'm gonna take another contour dome shaped brush like this, also from Laura Mercier, but this is the eye crease. And basically now I'm going to really smooth out the edging of that smoke. So now this is going to create that smoky effect on the outer portion. I'm gonna line the outer portion of the eye. I can tell from the picture that the lower lash line outline just comes to the center, not to the inner portion. I'm gonna smoke that out and just blend it with the previous shape like that. So now you can immediately tell how much larger this eye is appearing like compared to this eye. Now I'm gonna try to recreate this same shape on the other side. Remember, do not use anything waterproof for this portion because you want it to be easily smudgeable. And if you make any mistakes, you want it to be easily fixable. Once you have the map out outlined on your eye and once you have everything blended out, the rest of the makeup is going to be so smooth and so easy, you're probably gonna be shocked. But this part is probably like the most tedious. So if you wanted to really resemble Cruella's makeup, this is where you might want to spend the most time. And then I'm using another brush that's a lot thicker and a lot better for smoking out larger areas. Okay, so this is what the map out should look like at this point. Lots of lid space in the inner portion and just a little bit more smoke in the outer portion, but now we're gonna build up that smoke. What I'm gonna do first is actually take a flat brush. This one is Dose of Colors. I'm gonna dip into this light shade here called Luxe. It's like a bone white, and I am going to add that to the inner portion space right underneath the map out, basically onto the entire movable lid. Essentially, this is a cut crease, but it's a very artsy-fartsy cut crease. Also very, very costumey and very dramatic. All right, so once I've done that, I am also going to add that to the brow bone, directly underneath the brow, and kind of bringing in to meet with that smoke. I'm gonna add a bit more than what I actually need at first because it's gonna help me with the blending later. Next, I'm gonna take a crease brush. I'm gonna take a light grayish shade, such as this one here. It's like part nude, part taupey, part grayish. And I'm gonna start working that right above that line, kind of blending in with the white, flicking out towards the back, and just layering, 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 layering. Now I noticed this look in the movie keeps changing. In some instances, it looks very precise, and in other instances, it looks very, very messy. I'm kind of going for the more precise look because I feel like it is just very cool and I definitely want to recreate it. But if you feel like this is too much and you want to mess it up, by all means, your face is your canvas. So now I'm gonna take a bit more of that darker Cult Classic shade. I'm gonna start adding that to this inner portion and just darkening it a bit. Also getting away from that very harsh line. I'm gonna take a bit of that Cult Classic and start adding that closer to the cut crease part and just darkening that crease and adding more to that outer smoke shadow. So now if you have hooded eyes, you likely have a lot more brow bone space than lid space, which is another reason why this look is great for you and for me. So you can definitely keep adding and keep building and keep smoking out that shadow in the brow bone. All right, I'm gonna start adding that to the other eye. And this is where that white comes in very handy because now this becomes much easier to build up and much easier to blend, because we already have all of that white base there. So now all we're doing is just packing on the smoke. If you don't have this palette, you can always just use a black shadow, a cool brown shadow, and a gray shadow for the smoke. Next, I am going to reach for the black. I'm gonna dip the same liner brush into the black shade here called the Rock Bottom. And I'm gonna start applying that very close to that line to intensify it, but also to perfect it. So if there's any jaggedness anywhere, this would be the step to help smooth everything out and get rid of any imperfections. I'm gonna work on both eyes at the same time because it's kind of important to make sure that they are symmetrical at this point. Honestly, I love this makeup so much. I'm thinking about ways I can adapt this to real life. Definitely, this is very artistic and it's very cool. And I wanna be able to transform it to make it a little bit more wearable, you know, but still very Cruella inspired. Oh yeah, she's coming together. The only thing that I definitely need to darken is the lower bottom corner. I feel like there needs to be just a pinch more smoke over here, a pinch more drama, like that. And then I'm gonna pull this shape even more out using the black. And of course, blending everything. I'm liking where this is heading. So I'm gonna use my Pat McGrath PermaGel Ultra Glide Pencil in Extreme Black. And I'm gonna line that eye, just like that. Okay, next up is lashes and mascara time. For the lashes, I'm just gonna use Maybelline Sky High because that's what I have handy. You can use whatever you have, whatever you like. All right, so now I'm ready for lashes. I'm gonna be using these lashes from Kiss from their Trick or Treat collection. This is what the packaging looked like before I ripped it apart. And this lash style is called Cassandra. Basically, it's a very spiky looking lash. So I think it'll be perfect for this look because it offers a bit of volume, but without covering up the actual eyeshadow. I'm gonna apply the lash adhesive to the band, corner to corner, and wait for it to get tacky. Then I'm gonna grab the strip by the center, place it to the center of my lid, place the inner portion. I like to clamp the inner portion with my lashes, just like that. And then I apply outer portion last. So you can see it definitely adds the lashes that I so needed, but it doesn't cover up anything and it still looks natural. All right, so the eyes are done. For the lips, all you need is a red lipstick and a red lip liner. I'm gonna use this red lip liner from Makeup Forever. This one is in shade 40. I'm gonna outline my lip shape, maybe exaggerate it just a pinch because this is still costume makeup, like that. And then I'm gonna use these two Makeup by Mario lipsticks from the Ultra Suede lipstick collection in the shades Kiana and Alicia. So now Alicia is an orange tone red, so I'm gonna add that to the center of the lips. And then Kiana is a bluer based red, so I'm gonna add that to the perimeter of the mouth. Now you don't need to do this, but I'm doing this because I like the dramatics. And this gives the lips an ombre feel and just makes them look a little bit more 3D. All right, at this point I am ready to put on my wig, my outfit, and get into character. Oh, I also have some blue contacts. Let's add that on, shall we? All right, darling, so here is the look. Cruella, no longer Estella, no longer Maryam. Cruella is in the building. I quite like this look and I feel like I am rocking it well. This wig I got from Amazon. It was probably 20 bucks or maybe even under. My whole costume was also from Amazon and it includes this choker, I believe the gloves as well. I'll link all the items down below, everything that I'm using, as well as the makeup, so that if you guys need a last minute Halloween idea, I think this is a really good one. So I hope you make it yours. Thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing. I am going to zoom on out so that you can check out more of my videos. Click on them. See you in the next one. Mwah.